I think we are live. Yes, we are live. Hi, hello, everybody. This is Lucy, and today is Thursday. And as you know, this is the day for my weekly interview. So, if you are joining me and my guests, please down below in the comments put hashtag live, or if it's the replay, hashtag replay, and do tell us where you're coming from. As you know, I'm coming from Mexico, and my guest today, my awesome guest today, is from the Netherlands. And so, also, if you want to comment, please allow StreamYard to use your name. There's a little comment strip above. Allow them, click on that and allow them to use your name. Or if you just want to react, then you, of course, the thumbs up. But you know what? We love those hearts. Give us lots and lots of hearts, okay? Because that keeps us, you know how love keeps you alive. Okay, so as usual, I want to tell you how my guest and I met. Franceska and I met online. You know, it's turning out to be that you meet the nicest people online. We are both in the knowledge industry, and we are both also in the personal development industry. Actually, we have two of the same mentors, Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor. And so when I first met Franceska, she was part of the Own Your Future free challenge, which was, I say was because it took place already, a free challenge that Tony and Dean did to launch their new project. As you know, Tony and Dean are responsible for the KBB project, which is the Knowledge Business Blueprint. Well, this year, they upgraded, and what an upgrade it was, and they call it Project Next. And so within Project Next, all right, there is a course. And so in order to launch this new project, they created a free 5-day challenge called Own Your Future. 800,000 people attended. And that is where my guest was featured. An instant fame for her. Unbelievable. So, without any further ado, let me bring in my guest. Hello, Franceska.
Hi, Lucy.
How are you?
I'm doing very good and very happy to be here. So, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. I think you froze up on. Oh, there you are. There's that lovely smile. That's the smile that got Dean. That's the smile that got everybody. Now, I know when you were first featured on the big screen with Dean, everybody loved you and your contagious smile. Was that with the Own Your Future challenge, or was that at the Power to Pivot immersion workshop? I think it was the Own.
Yes, it was no on your future challenge was the 5-day challenge
Correct.
that was free. But then
Mhm.
afterward, you could get sign in for a level up. Next level program with Dean and Tony, like you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And there is where they mentioned the Power to Pivot workshop, and
Right.
I went to that one, and it was like a whole day, right,
Right.
of a workshop. And in that workshop is where I got to speak with Dean.
Okay, so he pulled you out of the many thousands, out of nowhere. There you were. All of a sudden, it was Francesca Benilia, and you came on screen. So tell me, what did that feel like? I mean, I had, I had a moment of 15 seconds that felt like wait, but what did that feel like? You were like on for 10 minutes.
Exactly. It was very long. Well, first I was so surprised because like you mentioned, there were so many thousands people in the workshop.
Right.
And you basically you don't expect to be chosen for a conversation.
Right.
So and he asked because he came on with like a Q&A. If you have questions, if you want to say anything, I'm here to answer your questions. And actually you had to raise your hand, I thought, to get picked out of everybody and
I
to ask.
raised my hand. Yes.
Yes, I did not raise my hand. And anyway, and he said, choose somebody who has been very enthusiastic because they see, of course, on the screen and playing full out, they said. So, and he just picked me. So when I heard my name, I was like, did he just said my name? I was surprised and very excited, of course, that he picked me and I could talk to him for a few minutes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So that, I mean, that was like immediate fame. That was with Dean. Now,
Yeah.
before we talk about your real fame status with coming on stage with Tony Robbins, my God. All right. Tell us a little bit about your background. You know, where were you born, your education, your work experience, kind of, and life experience. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Franceska Benilia, like you just mentioned already my name. I'm 31 and I'm living in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Here I was raised and I'm living here for I think the last 20 years of my life. The first 10 I lived on a beautiful island where I was born, and that's Curacao. It's an island in the Caribbean area. I don't know if you know that part, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao.
Yes, it has.
St.
They guarantee you 365 days of sun if you go there.
Yes, beautiful weather, beautiful beaches, and delicious food.
So
there I was born, and then, like I said, I moved to the Netherlands as a young girl, and I'm raised here. And I had some higher education here in business. So I studied for business, international business and languages.
Okay.
And I have my diploma, let's say. And after my schooling period, I started working. Also in business, and then I enrolled in government, and I worked for the government for the last 6-7 years. And now I changed again from working for the government to working in a commercial company.
Okay. You froze a little bit, so we're having a little technical difficulty, but your face is still there and your smile is gorgeous, which is great. Which is great because so tell me, so you were a teacher. We have that in common too. You were a language teacher, weren't you, at some point?
A language teacher, yes. I was in Curacao for a few months, and there I chose to give like courses. Peer coach, I call that. So young girls and boys that were going to school and needed some lessons on Dutch or English, I gave them lessons. So in that sense, I was a teacher teaching these languages to young children, young kids.
Okay. So thank you for that. So how did you, I know that you've been in the personal development, and I think that you've been with Tony for you were with Tony like for 5 years, I think you mentioned. How did you come in touch with Dean? Because Dean's not so very well known, although he is the driving force of the program. How did you come in contact with Dean? I think you're frozen again, so we'll just go with that. Are you there? Oh, Franceska, we lost Franceska. So I think we are having a little bit of tech problems, and that's okay. You know, that always happens on live events, and we will just wait and be patient until Franceska comes back. I just want to tell you that when she was featured on with Dean, she was talking about her course and about wanting to do her course, and then and she was kind of not too sure about things, and then she mentioned the name of the course, and Dean said, how many of you in the audience would buy this course from Franceska? And of course everybody's hand went up, and so that gave Franceska the impetus to just go ahead and continue with her course. So that was really a very special moment for her. And of course, that smile of hers is so contagious. Let me see if I can help the situation. I think, let me just make sure that she is got the, okay, let me just send her a message to just, All right, click back in. Click back in, and we'll continue with this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you just never know. You just never know what's going to happen when you go live, and you just have to expect these things to happen. So let me tell you some more about the program. Now, the program next is a program that Dean and Tony have put together. And I think here it comes Franceska. Franceska, hi.
Thank you for waiting for me.
Hi, Franceska, that's okay. We're, technical problems do happen. Okay, let's continue with how you met Dean. I think that was where we
Correct. That was the last question you asked me. Well, the thing is, like you mentioned, I knew Tony because I already was in the self-education business, and I loved his material and I knew his work. So I loved that. And just one day I was on the internet, on social media, on Facebook, and I saw an ad for the Own Your Future challenge, like you mentioned. And in this ad, you see a picture of Dean and Tony together. Right. So that's what triggered my attention. And then I went looking at what that challenge was about. And that is how I actually got to see something about Dean and got interested in what he was offering. And before I knew, I was talking to him.
Were you talking to him? Yeah, that was a rapid succession of events. I mean, you got on the Own Your Future free challenge. It was free. And then you got on Power to Pivot, and that's when you were featured.
Project Next program.
It says, we just finished the World Summit this past weekend. It was 3 days of immersion with Tony and Dean and some fabulous speakers. I actually showed up on the screen. I had my moment of fame for 15 seconds. I mean, I couldn't tell you how excited I was, how excited my team was, how excited my tribe was. We were all so excited. But there you were at the summit. Tony has he's on the stage. He has this question and answer, and wouldn't you know that he picks you? I couldn't believe it.
And you know what's funny, Lucy? It went the same way as with Dean. I did not raise my hand.
I'm not going to raise my hand the next time. That's great.
I was about to raise my hand, but I did not. And then again, he also said someone was playing full out, and then he just mentioned my name, and then they say bring her forward, because I was also excited. That's one. Surprised. That was two. And I was just loving the moment also with Tony.
Well, the thing is that one would have to pay thousands of dollars to get a coach such as Tony to even answer one question. Now, he left it way open to you. And he did say, what is your question?
Yes.
Franceska? Yes. Well, so what question did you pose, Tony?
Well, first of all, not exactly, of course, because with all the excitement,
what did I ask?
I probably will forget to say something right now. Yeah. But what I remember from the conversation is that he said, what is your question, or what is something that is challenging for you, or like an obstacle, let's say. Right. So what I chose to mention is something I found challenging in that moment of finishing the course and trying to get my digital product online, live, to share with others. And I told them that I really love to offer something that's very good. I would love to offer something that's very good, I told him. So I revised my course and my product so many times, and that's the holdup for me offering the product or putting it online for people to benefit from it, right? And then as I was saying that, he said, I will stop you right there. He said, you have such a beautiful smile and enthusiasm, like you just mentioned. And he said, but this thing, perfectionism, and then he went talking about that, that was not a good thing at all, and that I had to get rid of that as soon as possible. And he also mentioned that your focus must be on the service you're providing for well, people. And so those 10 minutes were, I thought it was a great advice, because he really touched what he really mentioned something that I really needed to hear.
Right.
And so he helped me to have a better understanding of what I was calling to be my challenge, let's say.
Right, exactly. That limiting belief of
Yeah.
that you needed to be perfect. And he said, there's no such thing as perfection. I remember him saying, you just have to go with it. So were you happy with the results then? I mean, did that clear things for you? I mean, immediately, or did you have to think about it and say, yeah, he's right?
Well, no, that's something we all know, because we say it so many times. There is not such thing as perfection,
Right.
and we all accept that, right? The only thing is, my perspective changed a little, because what I was aiming at, I want to have the best service I can. That was my how do you call that?
Your passion, your goal.
No, it was what I was using to not go forward.
Oh, I see. Your
Yes,
limiting belief.
my obstacle.
Yeah.
So my perspective changed from, indeed, why should it be as good as possible if I know that this is the best I have at the moment? So
Right.
he helped me to understand, if this is the best you have now, of course, maybe in a few months with some training and coaching, it will improve. But
Right.
the best you have now is this, and you should put it available for people who need it.
Yeah.
And that's what really touched me in the conversation. And I said, that's true. I should put what I have now. I know it's good, and I know it's helpful for someone, even if it's one person. He said,
Absolutely.
if you can
Absolutely.
help one person, just put it.
It's the power of one. It always starts with one person, and then, number two, number three. That's great. So I see that I see that certificate up on the wall there. I see it's a certificate that you did finish the Project Next course, right? And so when did that happen?
So that happened right before the summit. I think a few days, not even a week, maybe 3 or 4 days before we had the summit. I got to finish all the lessons of the course and do the homework and do the work. And well, I started recording my course, my digital program that I wanted to put online. So that happened a week ago, let's say.
Okay, so have you finished your course, your digital course? Have you completed it?
Yes, of course, I have completed it.
Okay, great. So Dean says that marketing and sales are the oxygen of any business. Okay, so now we're at the point that you have to sell yourself, that you have to market your course. Now, how does that feel for you? How do you feel about marketing and sales?
Well, after the course that I followed, I feel that I am serving. I am
Good.
selling a service that can help so many people, because my program is about emotional wellness.
Okay.
And this is something that is needed throughout the world. And I said, during my life, I get the privilege to collect some tools, some keys, and some knowledge on how we can enjoy emotional wealth. And this is what I want to share with people, especially young adults that are so in the bloom of their life, and they have so many years in front of them. I believe they can live it happy, because they deserve to be happy in this life and have an emotional, healthy life also. So
Right.
this is what I'm offering. And I know, to sell it or present yourself, it's not, you don't focus on that it's like you're trying to sell someone a product. Even if it's a digital product, you're trying to sell someone a solution to their problem. So this is how I see it, actually, that I'm trying to serve people with solutions to things they really need.
So how are you going to market your course? I mean, there is such a thing. I understand that you're feeling that, sales is service, but there is such a thing as putting I'm assuming you're putting the course on mastermind.com, which is available to all of us who belong to Progress Next and KBB. So how do you plan on marketing it? Did you, by the way, join the PNL, which is the coaching that Dean offered at the end of the summit? Actually, it came out the second day of the summit, because that's always the next step. That's the irresistible offer that each one of us has to do. That's marketing, and he's the marketing guru.
Yes.
So did you join that?
Well. You did it very well. Yes, I did join. Let me answer the first question you mentioned about the marketing. During the other program we had, right? The digital program. The digital product one, you learn about marketing on social media and putting your course on a website like mastermind.com. So as I learned that, I also will be implementing, indeed, using Facebook, Instagram, and mastermind.com. So I am aware I have to position myself and the product in places to find the right people who can use it. So that's how I'm doing the marketing right now. And I love coaching and training. That's why I signed up for the Project Next Level. So I did sign up, and I am looking forward to be furtherly trained and coached by Dean and his amazing team. And I hope Tony will present himself also somewhere during these few months.
Well, he may or may not, but the important thing is that you have now coaching to help you with the marketing, because it's not something that one can do alone. Really, everybody needs a coach. And have you always had a coach all your life, or is coaching new to you?
To be coached, because I have coached others.
I know that's what you are. You are a coach, yes, empowering other people, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But do you believe that you need to be coached?
Of course, because there is always something to be learned, and I say you can learn from one of the best in the area you want to be, right? You want to work the area of your subject. Why not? It's the best thing to do, because then you have someone to teach you to teach you how to obtain how to master something, right? Faster.
Right.
Easier.
Let me ask you this question. Have you been coached in the past? Have you ever been coached in the past for anything that you've done?
Yes. In anything, yes. In like in school and things like that, yes. In self-education, like on this level with Dean and Tony, it was the first time.
It was the first time. So what is it you're really expecting from this course? This is a 6-month coaching course, and there are going to be thousands of people in this course. I do understand that they have 3 wonderful, teachers. What is it that you expect to get from the course? What do you expect at the end of the course is probably what the better question.
Well, let me tell you this, Lucy. Yesterday we had like an introduction.
Okay.
That everybody on the course, and it's just about 600 to 700 people on it. So it's a smaller group.
Okay.
And I even make it smaller so you can have the right attention on the area you want to work. I wrote down my course for what I want to learn during these 6 months. I really would love the coaching on a presentation of my product, and also how to not also my own presentation in the product in my courses, but also to put it so on Mastermind, for example, but also on social media, because that's not my stronger area. Publishing things on social media is not my strength.
Right. So I know, because a lot of people have trouble with that. I personally have trouble with that. I personally have a coach that is teaching me to do that.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's no way that I possibly can do that alone. In fact, we have a team. We are a team that are helping, people who have finished the Project Next course and want to launch. And so we are doing what Dean is doing, but on a smaller scale. So we're taking our people and we're going to, the next step is help them launch their product, their course. So let's talk a little bit about your course. What is the name of your course?
The name of the course I'm working on right now is Guide Through Emotional Jungle for Accelerated Transformation.
Wow. Let's go through that slowly. Guide
Yes, the guide through our own emotional jungle.
Through our own emotional jungle. Wow. Okay.
To transform faster.
To transform faster. Okay.
I gave it that title because we get stuck. Most of us, we get stuck in our emotions and don't know how to get out. And
right.
It's not normally it's not just one emotion, it's a bunch of them. So that's why I call it emotional jungle.
Okay. Now, usually we have gone through an emotional jungle. You must have gone through an emotional jungle. Can you tell us a little bit about the jungle that you went through to bring you here so that you want to coach others to overcome, get out of that jungle?
Yes.
To emotional health.
I would love to share a bit of my experience. Well, I've seen many life experiences, but one that really made a difference for me was when I had a car accident. It was, I think 7 years ago. I had a car accident, which led to physical limitations. I'm just giving you an abbreviation, a summary of what happened. So this led to physical limitations, which didn't allow me to keep up with the lifestyle I had till then. And till then, I was traveling. I was a young woman loving to travel. And I was doing volunteer work in foreign countries.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit down. If you ask my sister, someone who knew me close, they say I could not sit down. So as I was loving to do that, the car accident changed my life and made that I couldn't live as full out like I was living, right? So I was limited in what I could do. And this had, there was something happened in my emotions, right? Because I couldn't do what I really wanted to. I saw a struggle within myself. And this struggle led me to a very dark path, that I luckily could recognize and could get out of very fast. Not fast enough, of course, but I think it wasn't too long of time, because I think it was just a year that I was down that path, and then I just get out. And during that dark period, I learned so much of what we as humans do to get in a dark path and actually stay there as long as we want to.
Right.
And this is because I learned this. I want to share it with everybody, because if you understand how we work emotionally, and you can keep that wellness for yourself, your life is going to change. My life changed. I am happier than I've ever been. And I have the emotional wealth I truly desire. And I wish this for everybody, truly. Everybody.
That is so great that you had the awareness, that you kind of let yourself dabble in it a little bit, feeling sorry for yourself, going through all those emotions. And then you realize what a jungle this was. And thank God for the personal development, background that you had. And you said to yourself, wait, that's not the way I want to live my life, and you created some tools for yourself to get better. And now this is what your course is about, right?
Correct.
So you have wonderful tools to help people get through those emotions that hold them back and does not allow them to move forward or to live the life that they want to live. Correct?
Correct. Yes.
Now let's talk about your avatar. Obviously, you said young people. Young people can, don't get me started. It could be 21. It could be 21 to 75. So
you're still young, Lucy.
Well, believe me, I feel young. So let's narrow that down, because I know we have to have niches. We have to be talking to certain people. So how narrow is that niche for you, for young people? And is it all young people? Is it men, women, or
I focus on young adults, so that's I'll say it's the average between the age of 21 and 35.
Okay.
And it is for both men and male and female.
Right. Okay. And so, okay, good. So let's talk about, you know, what I'd like to do is take a little trip with you, Franceska.
Where are we going, Lizzie?
Let me take a little trip. I want to take a little trip with you. We're going to August 2022. And you're going to look back, and it's been the best year of your life. All right. So tell me why, and why this year it has been the best year of your life. What has happened?
Well, you're gonna let me start.
Just use that imagination. It's your God-given gift.
But I'll base this answer on the 5 things I find most important, which is health, my family, good finance, of course, stability, spiritual relationship, of course, with God for me. So to say that it's a good year for me, I'll say that I am in good health. That's the foremost thing I say. Physical health and also emotional and spiritual health. Because when you have your health, you have your life.
Absolutely.
Because, you need that to truly be able to enjoy yourself, help yourself, and also help others.
Absolutely.
And that's my focus, to serve people as best as I can. And as I am going on this new path to serve people in how to obtain or maintain their emotional wellness, I see being able to give a lot of workshops, courses online, or one-on-one coaching in this next year. And I want to be able to look back. I will be looking back and
you
see
are looking back.
how many lives I am looking back, how many lives I could touch and help people to achieve this, which I'm teaching.
So what do you think in a year you've accomplished, your courses there, how many people do you think you've helped in the past year that you would call yourself successful?
Well, do I truly have to put a number on it?
Just throw a number out there.
One makes me successful.
Well, that's true. One makes you successful.
If I can use a number, I'll say I'd like to have a round number as 100. If I could have 100 people with the workshops, one-on-one coaching, and the online courses, yes, I'll be satisfied.
So you've had a successful year. That's wonderful. Thank you for obliging me to take me down that path. I just love it. I want to ask you. There's some people. Let me look at some of the comments here. You are a go-getter, Franceska. Everybody's called Facebook user. There's somebody by the name of Kareem Demir. It's great to listen to that beautiful woman. That's you. There's another comment here, Franceska. You were amazing during the World Summit. So somebody else remembers you. Somebody said, Franceska, you have been just emanating with energy. Is another. Well, I guess I could show this. And one said, Franceska, what is your course exactly? How did you define your dot exactly? Very important. Can you answer that for our person?
Of course.
Facebook
that
user.
I just mentioned, Guide Through Emotional Jungle for Accelerated Transformation, is a course. It's like a short course, like a mini course with tools to help an individual to obtain emotional wealth. So it's like steps, true tactics, daily practice, let's say, that you have to obtain this emotional wealth, your own emotional wealth, let's say, because for everybody that's different. So that is what the course is about. And the dot, I came on my dot because of my passion. I really love to teach people, and also teach people in wealth, in their health, let's say. So like I mentioned, for myself, spiritual health, physical health, emotional health. And I focused on the emotional part because I truly saw in the world that people need this. We need the balance, emotions, the harmony in our emotions to have good relationships with ourselves and with others. So as that is one of my passions, to teach people about this subject, I and also my own experience that I just share with you about the accident and what happened afterwards, and that own experience. I wanted to focus on actually young adults where I was like 10 years ago.
Were you the
I want
you
to focus
the you 10
on
years ago? Yeah.
yes, 10 years ago. So that's why I chose that group to teach this subject to that group.
Because 10 years ago is when you had the accident. It's when you went through that emotional
It was
and got out of it, and
7
went through depression and whatnot, and got yourself out of it, and created the tools
correct.
to get out of it. And then you wanted to share that with other people of the
Correct.
same age
Yeah.
because, okay, wonderful. Okay, here's another. You are a go-getter, Franceska. Here's an. I can resonate with the emotional jungle, somebody says. Okay, great. These are great, aren't they? I love this term, emotional wealth. It's definitely something missing in many people's lives today.
Correct.
Wonderful. And we have Frances Rudd, who says hi, and she does say absolutely. She agreed with something you said for sure. Another Facebook person said 100 is a good number. We talked about your next year,
Yeah.
okay, and so that's good. And Frances says, I never thought about that. One does make me successful,
Does.
right? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, the power of one is really very important.
Correct.
You know, if you can change one person's life, oh my God.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. Francesca, if you were to give advice to somebody who's in the program, the Progress Next program, and hasn't finished, is struggling to get through the program, what would you say to that person? How could you possibly motivate that person? Would you suggest they get a coach or what?
Well, I cannot say anything that I think Dean hasn't mentioned himself, because he said everybody has their own pace, right? And when you're in the Project Next program, you have all the course and all the material.
Right.
What you have to do is actually take action, because that's what they mentioned. And sometimes it's uncomfortable because you come in maybe from work and you have 1 hour, you want to cook, you want to maybe organize your house, and you want to set things for the next day. And if you have a family and children, I can even imagine what you have to prepare before
Yeah.
you get to do a piece of your course. Because what I did is, after work, because I also work full time still, and after work I was doing this uh, after that, and my evenings became so longer than I was accustomed to. I didn't watch a lot of TV, but I caught up the movies. I caught up a lot of things to have that time to truly finish it. And I say, when you have the desire, so there, to answer your question, Lucy, it's a desire to truly finish something.
It's
If
a
you
burning desire,
have
burning desire.
learned, you will.
And so you have to stop yourself and ask yourself and know your why.
Yeah.
It has to be a big why. Why is it that I want that? You
Yeah.
know, and it's because it may not be for everybody, or somebody may not be ready for it. But that's good advice. What about the person who wants to start an online business, doesn't know where to start or who to trust? What advice would you give that person?
Well, for that person, I'll say to find like a role model. You know,
Mm-hmm.
role model. I mentioned that just now for myself. Role model. I like Tony. You need a role model in your area of specialty, whatever you want to go and do online, because there is nothing new under the sun. Somebody has done what you want to do now, or somebody is doing what you want to do now. So
Right.
if you have some difficulty, you can find first a role model, and then second, a training. So maybe the role model is giving a training, or another training that fits fits with you, right? In my case, with the Project Next programs, I got into that because of Tony Robbins. He was one of my role models in the self-educational business, and I wanted to enter the self-educational business as a coach myself. So that's why I chose him and the training he and Dean gave.
Right. So find somebody that resonates with you. It could be a coach. It could be just a role model. Find a course like the Program Next course that gives you a path, a ground, a GPS sort of, that's where you can start and giving you the path to where you want to go and the steps to go along with it. So, yeah. So, which is what I did, and this is what you did too. You just can't. It's not fluff. You can't, don't get it out of the air. You really actually have to do your homework and look for something that you truly love. And the big why, you have to have a big why.
Yes, truly, very important.
Okay, Franceska, listen, we're coming at the end of the time for the interview because I don't want to take any more of your time. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, okay, down below I have the tickler that says contact Franceska on narrow.selfcare@gmail.com. And so they can contact you there?
Correct. So if you or someone you know would like to have information on the courses I give, please contact me on this email address. Or if you'd like to have a one-on-one coaching, also you can contact me on that. And I also have a Facebook group you can join. There I place weekly, I place free content about emotional wellness. So.
Okay, and so what would could you do me a favor after this? Send me the URL for your Facebook, so to make it easy for the folks who want to just jump on, because we're all so busy. We just want to click.
Yeah.
We just, I should talk for myself. I just want to click. It's like, don't let me go look for it because I'll get lost and I'll go somewhere else.
Exactly. Social media.
Absolutely. You need to use the social media, not let it use you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so very much for your time. I appreciate it. I really would love to have you back after your 6 months of coaching.
It will be fun.
And the minute you have that course on Mastermind, please use my feed so that we can follow you and take a look at that course for sure. And for some of us.
Very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. So thank you. And one more thing I just want to say I never thought about. Here's one more comment. I've heard this great advice to find someone who you would like to become and not just have what they have. Yeah, not just have what they have, but
very nice.
Oh, that's great. That's really well said. All right. Great advice to find someone who you would like to become. All right. And that's going to be you. Yes. Franceska. All right, sweetie. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the time, and keep smiling because that smile is contagious.
Thank you.
All right. And I just want to say thank you for my audience. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to be with you this week, and join us for next week for our next awesome guest. Bye. Bye, Franceska.